Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this sort of Tinies series from Small Victories by Johanna Basford. Now we have this floral here and I had a few ideas about what to do with this one. I felt it looked a little bit pansy or violet like. Now I'm not entirely sure how to colour a pansy or a violet off the top of my head because I'm not very good at remembering how things look, but I've got this little idea of how to colour this, and it might be completely wrong for a pansy or violet, but I know I'm going to try something and hopefully you'll like it. I am going to start with a bit of yellow. Now I'm going to use the banana. This is Black Widow's banana. Where are you, banana? That must be it. Yeah, banana. Now what I'm going to do with my banana colour is the base of the petals. Now this time I'm not going to be blending the colours that I'm doing. I'm doing more than one colour on the petal, but I'm not going to blend them together. I'm going to leave a gap between them, which is actually going to be white. And I will use a white pencil because the paper isn't white, but I'm not going to try and blend them. So I'm going to put a bit of yellow here. Now I want to lay this up quite a bit to make sure you can see that it's there. Now I'm now very convinced in my head that by telling you it's a pansy I've just talked nonsense, but never mind. And then there's sort of going to be a white stripe around there, which I won't draw in yet. I'm going to do the other colour, which there isn't quite the right colour. I think I'm going to use the lavender. I think that's going to work. It's sort of closest. Here it is. Lavender. I hope it's going to look good. But yeah, I've just had this little idea. I don't know what I'm going to do for the second set of petals yet. I haven't even thought about that. Now I want a really dark colour on this edge, and I am going to fade this one a little bit down. I just think it'll look better, not because I want to blend it, but just because I think it'll look better to have that really exaggerated tip and then a bit less coming down towards that yellow. I do think it looks pretty, in my opinion anyway. Obviously we all have different ideas. There we go. I am going to come back and layer over that very edge again. I feel like it needs quite a deep layer. There we go. My feet are really cold. I've got 2 pairs of socks on as well, but I don't know whether sometimes wearing 2 pairs of socks actually makes you colder because you can't wiggle your toes so well. This is Casper. I'm going to use this for the area between them. Now what I need to be careful of, and you will too, is that I don't drag any of the pink into the white, because I'm just going to brush it off really well so that there are no little pencil crumbs in there that are going to smudge in. Now it's not so bad if I get close to the yellow, because the yellow isn't going to smudge in the same way, but I just want to fill that little area in white so that it looks white rather than cream. There we go. You may not even see a difference, but I know that I've done it. Now I've got to think now, the outside petals and the centre. I don't really want the outside petals to be exactly the same colour. I'd quite like them to be in a slightly darker colour to the lavender. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, that's better. It was a very loud sneeze. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the plum pudding colour. I'm not sure it's going to be quite what I want on its own. Just trying to find it. Sorry, I sound all... No. I am fine. Oh, there it is, plum pudding. It's just a sneeze. There we go. And I'm just going to go over this. I'm not going to go too hard. Yeah, it's similar-ish but not darker. It's lighter actually. What I'm going to do is layer a couple of other colours or probably one other colour and then this on top, just to make it a little bit darker. So we're doing a little exercise in colour mixing here. Now, I don't know how this is going to look. I can't visualise. I am guessing out of, just because I've done this sort of thing, never this, quite a few times before. So I think I know what I'm doing. We'll see. I may be wrong. If you're not feeling very confident when you're trying to do something like this, do it on some scrap paper. Don't just do it straight in your book. I am going to use the grape. We've used it before, but you know, there we go. I've got quite a lacking in purples, and I'm going to put a light layer of that on top of this to try and darken it. Oh, that's definitely darkened it. So yes, try it on some scrap paper first, because you don't want to do it in your book and then regret it. I don't have regrets like that. Well, that's a lie. I have got a book which I've now finished. I'm going to put quite a thick layer of plum pudding on there just to sort of finish it off, where I ripped a page out because it was awful, and it was in Johanna's Christmas book where the pages are perforated, so that made it easier. Basically, it was the design as a sort of swirly design. I thought, however I can describe it, sort of pattern, and I coloured it in a glitter pen, a red one, thinking it's Christmassy. Okay, and then I decided to make a red pastel background. So I did this red pastel background, and the red looked horrible. And I'm going to put another layer on top of that actually. So I'm going back to my grape. I need it a bit darker. So I did, not only did it look really nasty, but all the glitter smudged all over the page. That's why you do glitter last. And it was just such a horrible mess, and the glitter was spreading all over the book, and it was just horrible, and I ripped it out. It's the only time I've ever it was really early in my colouring hobby. I wouldn't do that again. I would have probably put some fixative on it and then kept it, although I haven't got any fixative at the moment. I don't like it really. Well, I don't like it at all, to be honest. Yep, getting happier with that. What I'm going to do is my final little twist to that bit. Obviously, I know we haven't done the centre. I'm just still trying to decide. So back to this grape. I'm going to try and put a darker line just around the edge. I know normally I've been saying I'm not going to bother trying to put shadows in and making it different, but because these colours are similar, I feel that maybe if this bit is a bit darker at the bottom, it might just help those petals to look like it's separate. I think on the others, even though they're not that 3D, they do look separate, but this one I don't think does. That's better. I'm much happier with that. Just a tiny detail. Now I really want the centre of this to be black, but I don't know how you guys are going to feel about that. But that's what I'm going to do. I really want it black. I'm going to use the Midnight. You can use the Black Widow if you don't have the Midnight. I've just got two blacks, so just using a different one. I think they look really similar to me, like they're the same colour, but yeah. Now I don't want this one to look like, I was trying to make this one look like it was sort of sticking up sort of thing. This one I want to look flat, so I'm just going to colour it flat. I'm not pressing too hard. I don't know how, whoopsie, I don't know how dark I want it yet. I think I do want it a bit darker than that. There, I think I'm happy with that. Now these little lines, you can emphasise them, make them longer if you want to. Again, I don't think I've got a steady enough hand for that, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave it as it is, but you could do that. You could also put a few white dots around the centre just to make it look pretty, and on the last one I think that would enhance them slightly, but I'm not doing white dots on this page just because I don't want to. I don't want to. So there we go. But that was that one done. So tomorrow I've got just leaves again. I have to get my thinking cap on. But thank you for watching today. Do join me tomorrow, see what I do with the leaves. Maybe they'll be pink. You have to kind of drop in and find out. Thank you for watching. Have a super day and happy colouring.